Hi everyone, welcome to Hide the Cookie Jar. Today I'm going to show you my meal planning process, how I do all of my meal planning, grocery lists, and all that kind of stuff. This is part 2 of my planning routine. So last week I showed you how I do my weekly planning. This week I'm showing you how I do my meal planning. So let's get going. I like to use my Erin Condren Life Planner. I just think it's a great planner for me. And so as you can see, here is the plan that we used last week. First thing I like to do is I like to use these bottom sections here. This is where I do my meal planning. So I always like to plan out breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'm just gonna go through and add breakfast, lunch, and dinner just to make my life really easy. All right, so now that I've done all of my got my things all organized here. Now it's time to actually start going in and figuring out what meals we're gonna have. So I like to look at my week and what's coming up in my week and kind of plan based on that. So for example, on Wednesdays, we're gone most of the morning. So it's kind of a busy morning for us. So I like to do something kind of in my crock pot or something really easy like that. So I know that this week we're gonna be doing a roasted chicken in the crock pot. And we're gonna do potatoes and broccoli. I also know on playgroup days that we do a packed lunch. So we do a cheese and crackers lunch just because we're already out. So we end up stopping in usually to run errands on our way home. So a packed lunch and a little lunch in the car makes my life a little bit easier. Wednesdays is also, we have a little tradition. We call it Waffle Wednesdays. And so we do waffles in the morning before we leave. So next, I kind of like, as I'm going through, I'm going to look and see like a roast chicken. We're not going to eat the whole thing. So what can I do the next day with some of my leftovers? So this week I'm going to do a balsamic stir fry with rice. That way I'm using my leftovers and nothing's going to waste. Now, if you have other nights, sometimes you have a little bit of a tradition. So for example, Friday night is movie night, but it's also pizza night. So we end up doing pizzas here at home, which is always fun. And usually on Sundays we end up visiting families, or we try to do dinners out at somebody's house. So now comes the part where you have a couple other meals to fill in. Breakfasts are usually pretty easy, just whatever we kind of want to have. I like to rotate through. Weekends we do something a little bit bigger. So now that I have my breakfast, I like to do my lunches and dinners kind of at the same time. I kind of go back and forth depending on leftovers and stuff like that. I've gone through my freezer and kind of see what we have. So I know we have some sausages that we'll have with sweet potatoes and beans, green beans. Now, I like to keep a list. Actually, that's one thing that I love about doing my meal planning in the Erin Condren is that I can actually have lists. So I actually have some lists here of like breakfast ideas, lunch, dinner, and these are things that I know my family loves, things that I know my kids will eat. And when I find something new, I like to throw it in here because sometimes you get bored and you kind of start eating the same thing all the time. This kind of helps me rotate through some different recipes, so I'm not doing that too often. So this week, we are also going to be doing, what else can we put in here? We're going to do some pasta. And so see here, I know I have pasta, so this day here, we're actually going to have leftovers. So we're using up kind of what we have and what we're eating just to make our lives easier. Make sure that we're not wasting food too. That's kind of important. And let's back to filling. Oh, dinner here. Do some shrimp boil. It's actually one of my kids' favorites. And then for lunch, we'll fill in some other things that I know they like. Saturday ends up being kind of our leftover lunch day. Whatever we have, kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that ends up being eaten on Saturday. Just a good way to kind of get rid of what we have and, you know, make sure that we eat everything in our fridge. So our fridge kind of stays pretty much by the end of the week, our fridge is empty. Sundays we have church. This is another day where we do crackers and cheese, kind of a packed lunch because we go to church and then we get groceries on our way home, which is lunchtime. Something else to note is that just because I put crackers and cheese, that doesn't mean that's all that's in their lunch. I do have like, okay, when they have crackers and cheese, they have crackers, cheese, lunch meat, a veggie, a fruit, and then another snack. So, but just to keep my life simple, I know that that's what's going in on my meal planning here. And obviously there's not that much room, so keeping things simple makes my life a little bit easier. So now I know what we're gonna eat next week. I need to figure out what we need. So for that, I like to pull out this handy little pad, my All Out of pad. I really like this one. The Erin Condren does have a All Out of type of grocery list that can snap in, like a dashboard. I do like to use this paper one because I don't want to take this with me everywhere. This way I just rip it out and off we go. The reason I love these is because they're actually like in order of departments, which makes your life really easy when you're shopping. So I'm gonna go through my each day, and what I like to do is I actually like to underline what we need. So here I know I need some tortillas. Now we live in Canada, so we eat a lot of frozen vegetables. So I'm gonna put those down here. The reason I like to underline instead of you checking the box is because I bring a pen and I check the box as I'm going through the grocery store. So by underlining, I know what I need, but then I can also check the box, and then it serves double purpose. And I'm also taking into account as I'm going through things that I know I already have in my pantry. So for example, I'm not putting on shrimp because I already know I have some shrimp that I bought on sale frozen in my freezer. I also know that I just picked up a couple bags of frozen corn. They're also in my freezer. So the nice thing is, as you can go through, you can check what you have, and then you can come back and make your list accordingly, and that way you're not wasting money on things that you already have or things that you don't need. So as you can see, I have fruit here in a couple different spots. What I like to do is I like to buy whatever is on sale. I'm also a big fan of price matching. So what I like to do is use an app. I use Reeby just because that's what I have. I've heard Flip is really good too. You can use these apps, and what you can go do is you can go through and search what's on sale. So what I often do is I will start, and I'll just start going through the grocery stores that I have here, and just the great thing is you just click and it saves it to your grocery list. So you don't have to go looking for them later. So I can see, okay, for example, this week, you can see we have pears and apples on sale. Click and it's already on my list as a price match. Sweet potatoes are on sale, 98 cents a pound, which is a pretty good price. Nice thing is if you find something that's a better price, you can always take it off later in the back end. So I'll often like scroll through our couple of grocery stores. Usually I think there's about 6, and I'll scroll through and I'll look for the sales, anything that we might need or stock up on, things like fruit or vegetables. Then I'll also go through, what I love about this is it has a search option. So for example, I know that I need waffles, right? Let's go. You can type in what you need, Eggo waffles. This here. And then it'll show you, I can actually organize it by price, where the cheapest waffles are in all of the flyers, which is super cool. And then you can actually, it tells you what store, how long the sale is, and what the price is. So I can go through and see, like I know this is a bigger box. This is 16 versus, let's say, this one, which is only 8. So I can go back, click on this one, because I know this one's a bigger package, it's a better deal. Click on it, and now it's actually saved to my grocery list right here. And it shows me how many days are left on that sale and the item in the actual flyer. If you click on it, you just go back and it takes you right there. So what I will do is I'll start going through and price matching. So now I know that this $4.99 is the best price. I'll actually come and put $4.99 right here in my list. The reason, I don't know if you can see that. The reason that I'll do that is because sometimes you have in-store specials that aren't advertised in the flyers. And nothing's more frustrating than trying to figure out whether, like having to flip back and forth between your phone and your list, to see if it's on sale or what the better price is. And so this way I'd have the one list out and I don't even pull my phone out until we get to the cash. So I know already walking in what the best price advertised is. So if it happens to be a better price in the aisle, bonus. If not, I don't even have to like think twice about it. It's already there. So I'll go through and figure out all of my price matches. I also like to put in how much, like if it's a certain number. So here I just typed in sweet potatoes. You can see sweet potatoes is a great sale this week. They're on for 67 cents a pound. And I already know that going in. And like I said, I'll also go through and just check the flyers, because sometimes you get some really good things that you weren't necessarily thinking about. Especially the front pages. I don't know if you guys know this, but the front pages and the back pages are where they have their biggest sales. So you'll get your best price on the first couple of pages. Once you kind of get into the middle of your flyer, you're not actually getting that many deals. It's usually just advertising what they have in store. But your first couple of pages, where you're gonna get your most, your biggest sale items. Now, I shop at Walmart or Real Canadian Superstore because they are the only two stores in our area who price match. You have to know your rules. So I would always check, if you're gonna price match, check with the rules of your store. Because for example, Walmart will take pretty much anywhere, but Real Canadian Superstore only takes, I think, 5 major stores as a price match. So I know they won't take like Ontario Foodlands because we don't have one here. So yeah, I don't even bother searching there. So once I've finished all of that, I'll go through and double check on my list here that I have anything. So here I know that we have raspberries this week. They're gonna be $1.88. Should this end up being better price? So we'll do that one. The nice thing, if you like see here, I have bacon and I have bacon here. Just swipe and delete and it's gone. Super easy. I have pears. There's just anything else that's been added in. Just for example, like we use a lot of OxiClean for our diapers. So having that here, checking on things like that, I know that, you know, it doesn't go on sale all the time. So here I can put it in. I know I'm going to get a slightly better price. Yeah. So there you go. Now, when I head into the grocery store, I just rip this out, bring this with me, bring my phone, and I just show them all the prices at the cash, and then I get my price match. So that's my system. It works pretty well. The only other things that I would add to tell you about is that check if your store has a point system. I know the Real Canadian Superstore, they use the PC points. And this week, for example, I know that we're gonna get bonus points on mushrooms and our frozen vegetables and a few other things that we would be picking up. We're gonna get some bonus points if we were to go there. Now, if I only have a few, I won't make my trip because it's a little bit out of the way. But yeah, that's always a great thing. Make sure you check that you have any bonus points. So that is my whole routine. I hope you guys like it. And I hope this can be a little bit of a helpful lesson for you. So see you guys next week. Bye.